Hey guys and girls, how's it going, and welcome back to another episode of Thaumcraft with myself, Lewis. It'll be brilliant. Have yourself a great day as always. Check this place out. I am currently trying to get rid of all of this taint. I thought it'd be kind of fun to use the ethereal blooms to start, sending it back once it came, throwing it back into the void once it spawned. So I've been doing that, and we're going to slowly have to kind of move these back as we go, and there's a vast deal, but I want to try and get it to the water so that we could stop the taint from spreading onto our little island. That's kind of the thing I've been doing. Now, between this and the last episode, I've been really, really busy because I've made a load of stuff, and I've made some very vast progress as well, which we'll go into a little bit later. But the first thing that I would like to show you is I have made my way into the Eldritch. Yes, I've accumulated enough warp that I've now opened up the Eldritch tab, which allows us to get into things like void metals, caps, advanced Essentia storage, focus primals, lots of fun stuff to be done in there. I haven't really played with it too much yet because I've been busy making some other bits. Now let me show you what I've been up to. So first things first, I made a focus pouch and I've crafted all the current focuses that I've been able to make. The only one I haven't been able to make so far is the wand focus of Primal because I haven't got the bits for it yet, and the other one was the wand focus of warding. I learned it, but I need a nether star to be able to make it, so that's that one, and I haven't been to fight any withers or any guys like that yet. So I think we're gonna have to do that at some point though, because that could be kind of fun, going and beating up a guy. We kind of need to check out how good our armor and all of the knowledge that we've gained actually is, because at the minute we've been kind of dawdling around making stuff. Maybe it's about time we go and test our worth by beating on a dragon or something of the sort, because I think we could do that quite easily. Another thing that I've made, which I shall show you, is my Silverwood staff. Check this guy out. Let me just show you what it looks like without a foci on it. There we go. So this is my Silverwood staff. It's fairly large. It looks pretty good. Suits me well, I think. And I'm going to explain how you make this, because a lot of people seem to get they don't really know how to make this guy, because a long time back, or not really a long time back, you couldn't actually make this guy. And then people started using Frugal, so you could enchant your armor with Frugal, your robes, and you could enchant something like a foci with Frugal. You could put them onto a Silverwood wand, you could place them inside the arcane work table, and that would allow you to make the foamy embossed silver wand or Silverwood staff. Now, you can, with a regular Thaumium wand, be able to, or a Silverwood Thaumium wand, you can make the gold bossed Silverwood staff. To be able to make the foamy embossed Silverwood staff, you need to go into scepters. Scepters are basically the crossover point between regular staffs and regular wands and staffs. Now the crossover point between those, being able to get the higher staffs, you need to be able to use the scepters. Now scepters don't actually do a great deal except for that, so they kind of look cool, I guess. They got that cool funky look to them, but as far as their usability, they're fairly useless in a real day situation, because if you have a look inside here and we go down this way, you will find that be able to make things like this, these staves and staffs, you need to be able to go into scepters. So crafting scepters are specialised wands made to be used to craft mystical objects and nothing else. Foci cannot be attached to them, but they have several features that still make them worthwhile using. Firstly, they have an additional 5% Viz discount above and beyond what their caps would normally grant. Secondly, they are able to hold 50% more Viz than their cores would normally allow. Like other wands, they can be crafted using most combinations of rods and caps. Just a few examples are given on the next page. Here we go. So this is how we would make these guys. So you can do it with literally just a stick if you wanted to. You can make pretty much anything out of these, and they have a higher capacity than normal, but you can't attach a foci to them. So you'd kind of think, well, what's the point of actually making one of these? I can't really do anything with it. And the main reason for that is to be able to be used in a arcane work table, because it can hold a storage of 150, which is more than a regular Thaumium wand can. And you need that amount plus your Viz discount to be able to make the Thaumium embossed Silverwood staff, which has a 250 Viz storage. When you take into account the 250 on the amulet as well, you can hold a grand total of 500, which is a pretty decent amount if you're not playing with any add-ons like Kami, which basically adds a brand new endgame to Thaumcraft. So that's pretty much that. Let's have a look at some of the focuses that I've made, and then we're going to dig a little bit into Eldritch stuff, I think. So the first one I've made is the fire one, which is an offensive cap, which allows us to burn guys. Look, like that. The next one is shock, which allows us to shock our enemies. Pretty cool, right? And bearing in mind, a lot of these focuses can be enchanted as well, so you can put enchants on them to make them more potent. Yes, potency, and things like such, but bear in mind when you do that, they generally have a higher vis cost. So the next one we'll look at is Frost. This guy allows us to shoot out ice balls. Ice balls, yeah. Pretty cool, right? And they'll freeze the water they land on as well, so we can kind of do this so we can... See, pretty cool, right? Liking it? Like it? Oh, was liking it. That's how we do that. Let's have a look at another one. Portable hole is probably one of my favourites, and this guy allows you to pass through a certain amount of objects that are in your way. So if I wanted to, what would be a good way of showing this off? If I wanted to get into here without going through the front door, I could click on here and whoosh, there we go. See, I can go straight in here. And that won't stay there. That will disappear in a second. It will go back to its regular state. But it's a really good way to kind of get around, isn't it? Like, below me, there's that chamber. So if I go like this, then we can just kind of fall down there. Oh, look, there's some water there as well. So you'll be able to see some water in there. If I wanted to go further down, whoosh, oh. Oh, okay. All right. We'll forget that happened. So that's that one. Allows you to pass around. You can make some pretty funky secret bases once you have access to these guys, those types of foci. The next one, so what have we done? We've done fire, we've done excavation, allows us to excavate. Pretty cool. And obviously, harder the material, longer it will take to do it. So there's that one. And then we have... Oh, let's have a look at equal trade. So equal trade is a very cool one. Now what this allows you to do is it allows you to trade blocks for other blocks. And how you do this is, the first thing is you must select a block that you would like to trade to. So you can see in the minute on the top left hand corner where my viz files are, I have cobblestone saying 13, and that's because I currently have this selected to cobblestone and I have 13 cobblestone. If I wanted to change it to dirt, well, I would have to find some dirt and shift right click, and you see that would change to dirt, and I have 16 dirt in grand total. And what we can do with this is we can change items into other items, and it'll pick us up those items as we go. So something like stone, obviously when we pick this up, it will give us cobblestone. So if I go ahead and click on this now, it's going to exchange a large area of this for cobblestone from dirt. So that's pretty much how that one works. You can see we've got 3 dirt left, so I'll only be able to transform 3 of these, and then I'll have 29 of the cobblestone. Just bear in mind that you can enchant all of these foci, so maybe that'll give you a little idea of how you can actually get stone instead of cobblestone. The other cool things we can do is we can change things back. So you'll see down here I was messing around with it, and I was changing my area here into all cobblestone, which is kind of cool, you know. So I can shift right click on this, and this stone, I can change it into cobblestone. And because stone and cobblestone are practically the same thing, I just changed... yeah, I meant to do that. Yeah, because stone and cobblestone are practically the same thing, I'm never going to run out of cobblestone, am I? So I can just keep doing this as I go. The only thing that's going to change is going to use up my viz. And that's pretty much it. But we can keep going forever, because you can see that our cobblestone is not going to change, because cobblestone and stone are practically, like I say, the same thing. So pretty cool, right? I like it. And obviously if you wanted to change it back, you would need stone and such. So that's how we do that. Let's turn this back into dirt for the time being. There we go. So that's pretty much that one. My favourite one is probably the portable black hole. The last one that I would like to show you is a little bit of hidden knowledge. So during Thaumcraft you'll find things that are hidden, things like the brain in the jar, even Fulmium, I believe, is a hidden one, and certain other ones, including the wand focus of 9 hells. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get your hands on this one, because that's the fun of Thaumcraft, isn't it? Being able to learn certain things, being able to research certain guys, but it's all about researching and such, and that'll give you access to certain advantages, like this guy. Now, what this allows us to do is if we find an enemy, we can call forth the fiery bats of hell to attack them for us. And that kind of might give you a little hint towards how you can actually get this focus right there. Don't say I don't give you hints. So now we can do this, look. Fiery bat. Yeah, doing the pains. Although they kind of burn. It doesn't really do much damage to him, but yeah, you get the idea. And cast it on this guy. Pretty cool, right? I like it. And some of the other ones that we are soon going to be playing with are some of the ones from the Eldritch tab. And once I get my hands on a Nevery Star, we'll go with that one, I think. Yeah. Alright, so let's talk about Eldritch. So, Eldritch is a name of two brothers. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, Eldritch in Thaumcraft is a type of research that allows you to make things that are from the void. So by the time you've made this, in kind of the story of Thaumcraft, you've practically already gone insane. So it's about a man who researches things, you get warp, you know, or a woman, and you eventually kind of go insane through your research. And once you've got to that side of things, you've pretty much almost hit your limit. You can go further and there is more, but once you've got to the side of things, you've pretty much hit your limit. So to be able to get enough warp, because learning everything inside the book, so if you learn everything, obviously except for the Eldritch stuff, that will not give you enough warp to be able to get to the Eldritch tab. It's not as easy as just researching everything. You need to put it to use. So by actually making stuff that will give you warp, that is how you get to your Eldritch tab. And I'll show you a very easy way of doing this. So one, you could just play the game and over time you'll accumulate enough warp to be able to open it up. Or you can find something that makes a lot of warp and is easy to make and mass produce it. And that's exactly what I did. So, because I didn't want to hang around. So I made loads of flesh golems. Because flesh golems are... Oh, was that a creeper right there? Taking all my jars. Come here, what are you doing? What are you doing? There we go, we'll do that. That's a hole right there. Let's quickly patch this up. So yeah, I made a load of... I'm worried there's a creeper around now. I made a load of flesh golems, and that allowed me to get into the Eldritch tab. Now, there are other ways of doing it. There's other things that you might not have. You might have more aspect of one type of thing than others, so it might be better for you to make loads of liquid death or such. But I ended up making this, and this will allow me to explain how this alchemical construct works as well. Because this guy is mega cool. So this allows you to do automated crucible cooking. So like before, you'd be able to place the items in the crucible and then you'd put in your catalyst and that would allow you to make an item. Now you can do it this way. So you do this by placing two alchemical constructs on top of each other and then clicking it with a wand, and that will make this kind of multi-block structure here, this one by one. And you don't need any water inside your crucible, but you do need to have something underneath it to be able to burn. So I've just placed down some of that down there. And now you can pump in liquids into the alchemical construct, and it will instantly use those liquids to create whatever you would normally make. So you can see here that to be able to make flesh golems, generally in the crucible we'd have to add 8 humanus, 8 motus, and 8 spiritus. And then as our catalyst we'd use a block of flesh. With this, it'll instantly keep doing it for us. So if I was to click on this now, and I click on this, you can see it's selected, it's going to pull in the Essentia from these bowls, these jars, and then it will craft me another flesh golem. You can see that I just got a little bit of warp again. It's probably not good that we keep making these. And I think that's the most of it. Yeah, I haven't got any more of the flesh now. Another cool thing you can do with these though is you can add additional parts onto these so that you can craft one more type than you can at the minute. So at the minute you can see that we were making the flesh golems. You can get this so that you can make multiple different items at the same time, so you can have separate tabs like this. And to be able to do that, you need to be able to make let's have a look, automate alchemy. You need to make these guys, the mnemonic matrices. And in here it does kind of say, so each matrix increases the number of formulas by 2. So normally a thaumatorium can only have one active formula, but by attaching a mnemonic matrix to its side, you can increase the number of formulas it can keep track. So at the minute I've only got one formula area, which is this. If we added mnemonic matrices to the sides, then we would be able to add more of these, so we can do more of the crucible crafting than we would normally be able to do. But that's pretty much how I got to the Eldritch side of things. because I kept making flesh golems. I just kind of made loads of Essentia, chucked it in there, got loads of flesh golems. They're mega cheap to make, aren't they? That's why flesh golems are kind of bad for you, because they're so cheap but so good. And something that's so cheap and so good has to have a hidden price, doesn't it? It can't be that good for something so cheap. So that's why I made loads of those, and that eventually opened up the Eldritch tab for me so that I can experience this type of stuff. Now, the main thing that we need to do, and we're going to do now, is we need to start making these guys which come from Eldritch Epiphany. So it's suddenly become clear to you, where others see chaos, you occasionally catch a glimpse of a pattern, a very strange and disturbing pattern. Something stirs in the darkest corners of the universe. You have tried to explain it to others, but receive only strange looks in return. No matter. You will show them someday. You will show them all. So we're going to make some void seeds. And these will allow us to start making void metal, which is a very cool type of metal. It's not very good with magic, but it's kind of like gold. It's flexible, but turns hard when it needs to, which is very good. Yes. So to be able to do this, we need 3 different types of Essentia, which I've got over here. And I'm just going to keep these in my inventory for the minute, because I think the golems will start doing stuff. So I've made some of this. So we have a jar of alienness. Good way to get alienness. There's a couple of different ways to do it. I just use some ender pearls, but there are many ways of doing it. So we'll pop you down there. And then we've got tenebrae, which is this one, which we're going to pop here, like such. Now, this chest here, you're probably wondering, the items won't actually instantly get placed out of this on any side. You can see there's like a little faucet there. That isn't an attachable faucet via an Essentia tube. That is to output your items, so make sure you put that in the right place. And we've got some vacuos. We're going to mass produce a few of these seeds, because they look pretty cool, don't they? I'm going to need to grab some actual seeds as well, because that's our catalyst. So let's go grab some of those from down here. And this opens up some pretty good research, you know, because a lot of the stuff that you can make inside the Eldritch tab are pretty much the end-to-end game of Thaumcraft, as long as you don't have any type of add-ons installed. And we currently don't, because, you know, we're just experiencing Thaumcraft. If I add add-ons in, it's just going to get confusing, isn't it? So now that we've got the seeds, our catalyst, let's place them inside here. And woof, and it'll instantly pick up on the recipe. And we will say, go. There we go. Oh, hello there, you. And this should start making me void seeds. Yes, there we go. Very nice. This automated crafting is very cool indeed. And bear in mind, you don't have to have one type of Essentia coming from one line in. You could have this whole area plugged up to this guy, if you did it correctly. It would need a lot of pipe work, because obviously the pipes can get gummed up now. But if you did it properly, using a lot of cogs and restrictive tubes, you would eventually be able to make it so you could have this whole area linked up to this one alchemical construct, which is very, very cool if you can do that. Like, I haven't got the time to be doing that, because that is a lot of figuring stuff out, but if you do it, then you are sorted for ages. But I'm happy just adding my jars at the minute. But there we go, we've got 5, and I think that is the most of it. It doesn't look like we have any tenebrae left. No. 5 is enough. And now that we've got this, we can make some very cool bits and bobs. I'm going to need metallum, aren't I? I am going to need metallum. Let's do this. Let's go and grab some stuff from down here. And we're going to make some cool bits, I think. Let's get ourselves some void metal. Yeah. So let's get some iron. There we go. Let's get, how much do we want? 9? 9 will do it. And we're going to get our golems to get some farming for us, because we're going to turn some of this into some void metal. And I'll read the description for void metal in a second, because it's pretty cool. So I'm going to place some of you in here. What have you guys got? What are you holding on to at the minute? You got something in there, haven't you? What are you trying to... Oh, that's not going to work. What you little guys got? Lux? Lux? Yeah, look, they're hoarding Lux. What little guys? There we go. Alright, let's place this in here and start cooking it up. I prefer to use the Essentia for some reason. I don't really know why, but I do just kind of like using it. There we go. Alright. And we're also going to want to get ourselves some vials. And I think I used up the last of my vials. Let's have a look. Oh, I think it's spelled the other way around, isn't it? Vial? Yeah, there we go. We need some clay and some glass to be able to make these. Let's just see if we've got any down at the house. And we'll grab and take some with us to do this. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Oh man, I keep getting this all wrong. I keep forgetting that I've got my automated alchemical construct there. We don't need to be making little files anymore. We can do it this way. So let's get rid of you. I wonder if I have to finish this off because there's so much in there already. Like, you know, we've already got some alienness in there. I wonder if I have to do that. Let's just remove these. Yeah, there's alienness in there. I wonder how we would... Do you know what? Maybe if we just break it. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Let's put this back down. Whoop. Whoop. And... there we go. Brilliant. Alright. So, we're going to want to grab some of you. And we're going to pop it here. And we're going to grab you. And poof. Nice. It's going to make our void metal for us, which is very cool indeed. Now let's have a look at the description for void metal, because this is a very cool type of metal this is. So by infusing magic into metal, you have managed to create thaumium. It was a worthy discovery, but the time has to come to leave thaumium to amateurs and dabblers. A strange and half-remembered dream has given you the urge to try something different. What if you infuse metal with more than just magic, but with the very essence where magic is drawn from, darkness and the void that dwells between the stars? The resulting metal is disturbingly slick and warm to the touch. It is almost as soft as gold, making it easy to work. But when struck, it becomes as hard as thaumium, and sometimes even harder, more impressively all, but the most devastating damage soon repairs itself as the metal slowly flows back into place. So you can tell this stuff is auto-repairing, which is kind of cool. The only downside is that it isn't as easy to enchant as thaumium, but still compares favourably to mundane metals like iron. You have discovered that care must be taken when handling the metal. Being harmed by it seems to temporarily sap your strength. So it has what's called warping. Warping is kind of an enchantment, but not really a good one. And what it does is it gives you temporary warp when you're using the items. So things like the void helmet and the void chestplate and such are all great because, you know, they're pretty strong. I don't think they can break, which is nice. But you're going to get more warp when you have them. So things like bath salts and such, you're going to kind of need to make sure that you're well stocked up on those before you start playing with all of this stuff. But like I say, it's pretty strong. It's pretty good. It's going to keep you alive, but you're going to have to watch out for that. How much should we get? We got 4. 4 in total? Oh, we need more metallum. Oh, right, okay. Let's just place this back over here. There we go. Cool. Have we got some in here? We have, haven't we? Yeah, I could uncrystallize it again. I guess it might be worth, if we're going to be making a lot of this, let's place this in here and cook the rest of that back up again. There we go. Cool. So that gives us our void metal, and this will allow us to make some pretty cool stuff. One of the best ones, I think, is the advanced Essentia storage, which I was looking into. We might go into that in the next episode. But this is basically like an Essentia tank that allows 256 Essentia stored, but you can actually combine different Essentia types, so you can have more than just one type of Essentia in there. So you can have multiple different types. Kind of like, if you guys have ever played with Tinker's Steelworks, you can have the tank that can have multiple types of liquids in there, molten liquids. It's kind of the same type of thing, but a lot smaller. And in the next episode, I would also like to go into Wand Focus Primal. This is very... Actually, should we go into this now? Should we do this now? I think I've got most of the stuff to do this. Yeah, let's do this now. I'm going to show you the Wand Focus Primal before we finish up, because this Wand Focus is shrouded in mystery. Let me tell you that. So we're going to grab 4 of you. We're going to grab 4 of you. Oh, do you know what? We'll take 5. Why not? And I'm going to take a Primal Charm. Yes. Now, this Wand Focus, I believe, is actually hidden knowledge. So you'll have to figure out for yourself how you get the knowledge to be able to do this. But let me just double check, make sure I got everything. So we needed 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and 25 aspects. That's good. So let's make our way up to the room up here, and we'll make one of these. And this is quite dangerous. Like this wand focus is not for the faint-hearted. So let's place it on here, and we had you and you guys, probably the other way around. There we go. It gives us a wand focus of Primal, and you can see that it's wand per cast, or vis per cast, is continuously changed because this Primal charm is very weird indeed. And I've just gained more warp. Lovely. That's fine. I still need to gain more warp. You may be wondering why. I will show you in a later episode. So, now that we've got this, we can attach this to our wand. And we can do some pretty cool stuff with it. There we go. But beforehand, before we do that, let's quickly do a couple of bits. So first things first, I want to research void metal. There we go. And I also want to research the primal. Ba-bam, ba-bam. And now we have staff core of the Primal, the ultimate staff core, the monstrous staff core, the beast of staff coreage. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to make one of these guys because these guys are insane in the membrane. Let me tell you that. So let's add this onto here. Actually, let's put this in our bag, and I'm gonna quickly show you a couple of bits. So there we go. You can see it kind of going a bit weird. So we can fire this, and it'll go up into the air. And no one really knows what direction it's going to properly fire in because these things kind of just fly off all over the place. Like they kind of just do their own thing, you know? And when they land, they like to do a little bit of an explosion. Like such. And sometimes from the explosions can result weird effects. And these effects are kind of unknown, you know? It's kind of weird. Some say that with certain types of mobs that hit, certain things can happen. Some say that aura nodes can be born from these. Who knows? But if you actually read inside here, it gives you a little information on it. So, one focus the Primal. So, what madness possessed you to create this thing? The focus seems weirdly or wildly dangerous, and only a lunatic would attempt to use it anywhere but the most controlled environments. Granted, the orb of raw primal energy it creates is quite devastating, but its path of travel is erratic at best and downright malicious at worst. It does beg further study, however. The orb shows some interesting dimensional properties and it exhibits energy patterns you've only seen in wisps and aura nodes. So maybe that will give you a little bit more insight into the kind of the Easter eggs that come with this guy. But you can see it kind of flying off. It went nowhere where I wanted to go just then. Hit the sheep. I aimed at the sheep. I aimed at the sheep. Cool. A cool thing that you can do with this, actually, if I can manage to pull it off, that's far up in the air, is you can actually get this guy with this, if you're good enough. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, wait. Whoa. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get to this guy, am I? He is out of here. Let's try and do this in a place where I can get. Because that isn't going to work, is it? Let's do this. I was hoping if I fired straight up, it would have gone straight up. Alright, which way is it going? It's going off over that way somewhere. Oh, this is going to be a pain. But you can do this. There we go. See, you can even learn those little guys. And he gives you some bits back. How funky is that? And some say that it has the same strange properties of a aura node. Now, from what I believe, you can actually create an aura node using one of these. And from what I've heard, it's something to do with things like slimes and such, and being able to make taint. I know that you can make taint from killing slimes with these guys, and there's some pretty weird things that you can do with these cores. Or these foci. So I'll leave that to you to have a play around with. But yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that one. I'll stick to my portable hole, thanks. Cool, cool. Alright, guys, well, that's going to be that for today's episode, I believe. In the next episode, we will go more into the Eldritch side of things. I'm going to check on my ethereal blooms. Oh, they're doing pretty good. Yeah, we'll go further into the Eldritch side of things. Today was more of a catch-up because I've done a fair bit off camera. I wanted to go over all the different types of focuses. I wanted to talk a little bit about the staffs and how you can acquire staffs, because some people get a little bit kind of confused on the route to take to be able to get to staffs, because you make all of the stuff and then you make your regular Fulmian wand and you're like a couple of viz off. It can get a little bit frustrating, so that's how you do that. But in the next episode, we'll go into that, and maybe we will make the staff core of the Primal the ultimate staff that we can make, which would be kind of cool. And I will do some more research, and we should hopefully open up a few more little bits as well, which is kind of nice. So there we go, guys. If you're enjoying the series, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, I urge you to subscribe for more awesome content. Have yourself a great day. Have a good one as always. And goodbye.